So 2023 AMA documentation guidelines hitting us June 30th. I wonder if you've had time to read yours. Hi, Shannon DeConda here with NAMUS, and yes, I've had a chance to read through them. What I want to remind you of is while we have the AMA changes, we don't have the final rule from CMS. So we don't know how CMS is going to process all of these changes yet. So as you're reading these guideline changes, we know we have the changes of how they're going to appear in the AMA manual for 2023. Just remember what happened with prolonged services. So we need to understand we have the fundamental changes as they will happen. We have guideline changes as they will happen, but interpretation by CMS may change, and that will come when the final rule comes. So have you read through them yet? There's some interesting nuggets in there. New versus established patients. Now, not much controversy there, but the theme that AMA has so well helped us to clarify is what happens when one provider is actually taking call for another provider. That's actually in the guidelines now. It says the on-call provider should bill for the patient as the status of the on-call provider. That's going to get a little messy though, isn't it? So there's going to be some hurdles that we have to take notice of with the new guideline changes, but at least for us as auditors, compliance professionals, and coders alike, we have some guidance. We're just going to have to figure out how to nuance those within our practices and everyday world. So great guidance though. Next thing, ED. Big changes are coming for our ED providers, but are they really? I think what we get in the ED is we get clarity, right? So right now in the emergency room, realistically, let's just be honest, right? The difference is a level 3, a level 4, a level 5. Yes, we have occasional level 2s, but for the most volume of the patients that come in the emergency room, the question becomes, is it a level 3, is it a level 4, is it a level 5? And in most of our emergency rooms, let's just be honest with our emergency room providers, is it a level 4? Or is it a level 5? I mean, just being honest here, right? So in those instances, what it comes down to is we're taking the Office 2021 guidelines and applying them in the emergency room without time. Obviously, we can't use time in the emergency room. So it's MDM. So it is going to be a level 2 is straightforward, a level 3 is low, a level 4 is moderate, and high is a level 5. I think this actually clarifies the intent of a level 3, a level 4, and a level 5 in the emergency room space much more. So we're going to create some tools and some comparison charts like we did for the original documentation guideline changes to make it a little bit easier when you're educating your physicians. So look for those to come. Also, your initial and subsequent inpatients. I mean, realistically, everything has now converted to 2021 changes. The other thing you should look for in the changes is there has been some adaptation of wording changes for the office-based. So our current 2021 changes, they've improved some of the language there as well. And they've also added a new category, which is acute, uncomplicated, stable. I'm a little bit curious. I read it. I actually read it just yesterday again, and I'm still at a quandary, not sure why we need that category. There's also new categories that were a new category that was added on the risk category for inpatient status. So lots of good nuggets there. Give it a review. We'll have a webinar coming very soon. And then also in the fall, we're going to have some webinar series out for you. Look for those. But I really think all in all, this is going to help our providers. Remember, it's patients over paperwork. If I can give you one tip on looking towards creating your education for your providers. I think one of the fails we did, I'll own that as well, when we educated providers on the 2021 changes, was we tried too much to make the changes comparable to the current. And I think that's where providers kept their existing templates and their existing documentation style. So I think as we look at these last implementation of changes, we really need to embrace these as changes and not merely as a crossover or a blend. So that's my challenge to you as you read through the 2023 documentation guideline changes. And with that, that's today's take. I hope you have an amazing day and look for another video soon. Thank you. Leave your comments and your feedback here.